Hey everyone, and welcome back to Travels in Tranquility. Oh, we didn't say our names in the last video that we just
I feel
filmed.
like you forgot what the name of the channel was when you introed it, because you were like, welcome back to our channel.
In the last video or in this video?
Like, welcome back to our channel.
Okay, well this is Travels in Tranquility.
Yeah.
I'm Lauren.
I'm Devin.
That was really,
Whoa.
Devin
What was
really,
that?
I don't know, you were really excited to say your name. That's great. I mean,
I remembered.
take charge, own your name. Oh boy. And today we're bringing you a hopefully quick reflection video going over our, our
Symphony of the Seas.
Our 7-night Western Mediterranean cruise on board Symphony of the Seas with Royal Caribbean.
Should we make it like really quick? It was great. Thanks for watching, everybody.
No, not that quick. I have some categories for us, of course. I have a piece of paper. I've labeled it. We're ready.
Shocking.
I know. So to be transparent, it has been a bit since we took that cruise.
It's been a little over almost 3 months.
Yeah.
Since we took
Oops.
it.
We should have filmed this a lot sooner, but life happens. So we're going to do the best that we can. So the first category I want to talk about is ports and excursions. Overall, I'm really happy with the places that we went and like the variety of the places that we went to.
I agree. I mean, obviously, I could nitpick it, but we were in the Mediterranean. It was great. Everywhere was amazing. The people were great.
Agreed.
The food was awesome. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think for the Western Mediterranean, I think our ports were great. So we started in Barcelona, and then we went to Palma de Mallorca, which is part of Spain, Marseille, France, La Spezia, Italy, which is what got us to Pisa, Italy, Rome, the port was Civitavecchia, and then Naples. Italy. Mm-hmm. It's definitely heavy on the Italy, but I didn't mind it.
Gorgeous.
Right.
There was nothing compares to it in America. It's so
Agreed.
Cool.
And as people who had never been to Italy before, it was kind of fun that we got to, hit up 3 different parts of Italy. And it's a decently big country, so
it's huge.
You kind of need to cover more ground. I do think it'll be fun to do the other side of the Mediterranean, right? Do the Eastern Mediterranean and hit up some of those other. This one felt like definitely the more like touristy kind of port of a Mediterranean cruise. Outside of like Greece, it felt really like that.
I was very touristy. Mm-hmm. But I mean, there's a reason these places are touristy.
Absolutely. Not in a bad way at all.
Yeah.
So it was fun. I really enjoyed the ports. As far as excursions go, we only booked excursions in the Italy ports, in La Spezia, Civitavecchia, and Naples. I will say there is something to be said, and I think we learned this in Alaska. There is something to be said for a really good excursion.
Oh, absolutely.
It takes a lot of the pressure off. It takes a lot of the stress of like transportation and all of that off of your shoulders and onto somebody else's shoulders, which is really nice. I would say I could definitely see the benefit of doing more excursions on our cruise like this.
Right. And I think it's all, you just have to balance. Well, you could do 2 things. You have to either balance what you're like with relaxation and adventure, or you have to determine prior to going, like you have to agree with your whole party if it's going to be like a relaxing vacation or if it's going to be an adventure vacation.
Right. I feel like
all of that plays into it.
I feel like with Alaska, this definitely felt more like an adventure kind of thing. We were there to see shit.
Yeah.
Like that was our goal. Mm-hmm. And so I think, yes, it's balancing relaxation and adventure, but it's also balancing how much work do I want to put into seeing the shit that I want to see. Do I want to put in little effort and just enter my credit card number and show up and have someone tell me that's the Coliseum? Or do I want to figure out how to get from this point to this point to that point to this point to that point in a functional way, while also accounting for bathroom breaks, water, crowds, transportation, food, so it's a lot of that, like deciding whether you want the adventure on your own or you want somebody else to control it. I think there's good and bad with both.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We tend to both fall into different categories when it comes to looking into those things. So we have to compromise a lot on like what we do, but it is so much easier just with excursions. And we learned it in Alaska. And with Pisa. Because we booked the Pisa excursion that you hopefully have seen in our video. If you haven't watched it, go check it out. We did that the day before, or was it the
day
morning
of?
It was the morning of, yeah.
Yeah, Pisa is a really good example of this because we were all set to do it on our own. We had a plan, we had a list, a schedule, of what we were going to do and how we were going to do it. And then we docked, and then we walked all the way to the train station.
It was so much farther than we thought it was.
It was so much farther than we thought it was going to be. And the train was not set up the way that we thought it would be.
No, so by the time we got to the station, the next train that we would have needed to wait at the station for over an hour. And there was like nothing to do. And stressful, and everybody's it's
There's
Europe,
tons
so
of people everywhere.
Everybody's ready to go, and they know what they're supposed to do and all that stuff. And I don't know, we're in a foreign country. It was stressful.
Yeah, and so we quit that plane and we just walked around. And then later, when we were back on the ship around lunchtime, we realized there were afternoon excursions, and that was so much better to sit on a bus for like 45 minutes to get to where we needed to go and have somebody walk us in and say, "That's the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Enjoy it for 30 minutes. We'll see you back there." But it just worked better for us in that situation.
Right. And with Alaska, you go back to those videos on the I can't remember which day it was. It might have been Juneau, but was it the Gold Bug or Gold Belt? The tram.
The tram.
We did that after we were already on the ship as well. So, excursions are cool.
They are cool, and I think. With our first cruise on Adventure of the Seas, we did not like our excursion at all. And so it put a bad taste in our mouth. But then in Alaska, we learned, oh no, that was just a shitty guide and a bad excursion. But you can have really good experiences. And so I think we've learned to accept excursions a little bit more. And I think, in the future, we may use them more. And it really depends on the ports too,
Absolutely.
I don't know. I don't think we would have needed one in Palma de Mallorca because it was kind of a littler port and we were okay on our own. So I think there's definitely a balance.
Well, and then like the France port, Marseille, we had goals for that one and we didn't do an excursion.
No.
That day, and we hit our goals and we were able to get everything.
We hit most of everything we wanted to,
Yeah, so it's balance.
Yeah, it is a balance, but overall,
we got to walk through some really cool areas of town that you probably wouldn't have seen on an excursion.
True. Yeah, but overall, I think we liked the excursions that we did. We'd recommend them, and I think it helps us want to consider them more in the future.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, so much for this being a quick video. Second category of things I want to talk about and reflect on this cruise is kind of a big category, but hopefully we can do it quick. It's like the ship as a whole, the amenities on the ship, and then the food on the ship.
Yes.
So we sailed Symphony of the Seas, which is one of the larger ships, as you can see on our lovely poster there from viewsandcues.com, our scratch off poster. We're not sponsored by them. No. They don't know that we exist.
Nope.
But we do like scratching off their poster. Symphony's one of the bigger ships. And so it has a lot of stuff. It has a lot of amenities, lots of different restaurants.
It's thinking back on it and kind of like watching our videos again as they premiere and all that stuff. It's wild to think that it's literally just a floating city. It's big enough that it has districts.
Yeah. It's the biggest one we've sailed on so far.
Right.
I think it was a beautiful ship. Absolutely. I loved it. I do think it's hard with these cruises where you're go, different port every single day. We probably didn't get to enjoy or experience the ship as much as we would want to, I think, on a cruise.
I think we've done back-to-back cruises now where I would have, while I loved everything we did, I would have enjoyed more time to kick back
on the ship
a little bit, because Ovation was very much that way as well, because Ovation was gorgeous. But again, it was an Alaskan adventure cruise, so we were going at full speed the whole time.
For sure, yeah. I agree completely. Yeah, we didn't get to enjoy the ship as much as we wanted to. I do think it's a great ship for the trip that we took.
Totally agree.
You know, it was stable. It was beautiful. We enjoyed our room and everything. It was great. I enjoyed it.
I agree.
Cool. Oh, we did that category a little bit quicker. We love Symphony of the Seas.
If you want me to.
Yeah. And I think, you know, the thing with it being the ship that we took for a big adventure, you know, maybe it just warrants, we have to visit it again, right? To fully appreciate it. That is the difference between like Europe and Alaska, I feel like is in one category versus like the Caribbean. And on Caribbean cruises, we will definitely be on the ship a lot more and enjoy the ship activities more. Alaska and Europe, you're off the ship a lot more, at least in our experience and kind of our planning.
Like, I mean, you're going to, with Alaska, I mean, you're going to one of the last like wild places on Earth. Frontier. And yeah, they literally since Alaska, last frontier. So it doesn't, in my mind, and I think I can speak for Lauren as well, it really doesn't make sense to just stay on the ship and watch it from the shore. Because you just have so little opportunity in 2023 or 2024 when this video comes out to see these wild places anymore.
Agreed.
Yeah, sure. and Europe is Europe, so like get off the ship. Yeah,
exactly. You can't really sit on the ship when the Colosseum is like right there. Yeah. You know, like you want to go see the Colosseum.
Especially for all the Americans watching these videos, I'm sure that's most of our audience. We desperately need to see other places, and just go see them. Go see them. It's awesome. Learn. It's awesome.
It is awesome. Okay, category number 3 is the embarkation port. Which is a fancy term for Barcelona. Where you leave from. And yes, for us, it was Barcelona. I think the port was good. I liked...
Are we talking about just the port or like the city?
Well, obviously Barcelona, the city, is beautiful. And we wish we had more time to have experienced it.
Barcelona kicked ass. It was great.
It was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the port was okay.
The port was awesome.
Yeah, it was beautiful. You know, the scenery and stuff like that. I will say it was really crowded on the inside, the like terminal, the cruise terminal. It was cool that they had like a little duty-free section though. That was neat. You have to walk through the duty-free
section before you get to the terminal.
And they had some like souvenirs and stuff. That was cool. Cute. It was fine port.
I liked it. I mean, it certainly wasn't
better than Miami.
Yeah, it certainly was not the worst one we've been to. Yeah, Miami was rough.
Yeah, agreed. And I think with Barcelona, we definitely learned that we do need more than one day to explore the embarkation port, and we will not make that mistake again in future European or abroad cruises.
Especially one, if it's places you're not going to get to very frequently, and two, if it's just like wildly amazing cultural centers. You know, there's just so much stuff to see and do.
Lesson learned. Yes, when we have a cruise planned for 2025 that leaves out of Southampton, I'm telling Devin we need at least
spend time.
5 days in London before we go on the cruise.
It's going to be a big trip.
Yeah. Look forward to that in 2025.
I'm so excited.
Me too.
Warner Brothers, London.
Don't talk about it now.
You could do, all the metro stuff we're going to do. It's going to
be great.
I'm very excited.
Okay, but let's focus.
And the Titanic Museum.
Focus. Symphony of the Seas.
Southampton.
I know, that's going to be fun. Is our balcony room. I kind of talked about this a little bit with the ship category. But I kind of wanted to focus on and ask you, like, do you think a balcony room is necessary when you're doing a Mediterranean cruise?
Yes.
I agree.
100 million %.
I agree.
We were in, I can't remember the name of it, but we were in kind of like an almost like an inland sea. We spent the entire time in
a sea.
Well,
right, like Mediterranean Sea, yeah.
Right, but the whole time, you were able to see stuff at all times.
Yeah.
Like the ocean was wild looking. We had never seen ocean look like that before.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's part of the whole experience. Like, obviously, you could go do this with an interior room. It would be no problem because there's so much stuff to do on the ship and so much stuff to do off the ship. But if you can swing it, because we know it's more expensive, it adds so much more to the trip.
Yeah, we really liked it.
Yeah.
I do think we spent more time on our balcony on the Alaska cruise than we did in this one, just because we were off the ship for such long periods of the day. And it was hotter in Symphony too, so it was our side of the ship got a ton of sun.
Yeah.
But yes, I absolutely agree. I think balcony's worth it. I mean, we've only done balcony. The cruise that we have coming up, when we're on Navigator of the Seas, we're doing an interior room. So it'll be interesting to
5 days
to try and see what that's like.
Yeah.
And see if we notice any differences.
Right.
We'll let you know. Okay, 5th category is length of the trip and price of the trip. I can't remember the price. I'm not very good at paying attention to prices and budgets. I will say we booked this 2 years in advance.
Yeah.
Maybe at least 2 years in advance. So that definitely helped with the price because you could, make smaller payments kind of over the course of the time. It was expensive.
Yeah, I think in total we spent probably $6,500.
Oh, total, like with flights and hotels and everything?
Well, the hotels were free. Thank you, Hilton. Honors points.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, in totality, I'm pretty sure it was under 7,000, which, yes, that's a huge number. But for what we got, I mean, we were in Europe for a week.
Yeah.
And yeah, the flights suck and whatever. It's just from where we are, because Reno is a landlocked airport hellhole. But I mean, I thought it was great. I thought it was worth it. And I'm someone that stresses over money.
Yeah, he does way more than I do.
I thought it was worth it. I mean, we got to see and experience so much, and as I get older, I'm slowly learning to realize that the experiences, they're worth it.
Yeah.
Because I grew up very poor and we never really did anything, and so I have to change my frame of reference on that a little bit.
Yeah, I agree. I think it was worth it too. Mm-hmm. As far as it being a 7-night cruise, I do think 7 nights was great. Mm-hmm. Obviously, when you're on a 7-night cruise, you're gonna want a 10-night cruise or a 14-night cruise, right? You're always gonna want more.
Give me that transatlantic.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You want the forever cruise. I would say it would have been nice to have another sea day in there somewhere.
Yes, I agree.
Because you're very tired, you're seeing a lot, you're doing a lot. Having a sea day where you can just chill would be really nice. But
right, yeah,
for what it was, good.
I agree. Yeah, a middle day somewhere of just cruising around the Mediterranean to rest would have been awesome.
Yeah, agreed. So, it is what it is. We don't control that, so but you're always gonna want more. Okay, last category is just our overall assessment and to determine whether or not it was worth it.
I mean, overall, if we're talking in totality, absolutely worth it. I would do it again in a heartbeat if given the opportunity. I honestly, there's not even really much I want to nitpick at all. I mean, it's great. I mean, not everything goes according to plan. And,
right.
Some days, some ports are more difficult than others.
Yes.
But it was just a mind-expanding experience.
Absolutely.
And I can't wait to do it again.
Yeah, I agree completely. I definitely think it was worth it. And I agree. I think the more that we travel, the more we're learning that flexibility is key, that not everything is going to go the way that you write it down in your Excel spreadsheet beforehand.
Right.
And that's important. And I think that's something really important that I personally need to learn. I think that's why Devin's laughing so much, because I'm the most inflexible of the two of us. But I'm learning and I'm growing.
She does great, everybody.
And I try my hardest. Yeah. But I think it's all worth it in the end. When we can look back and say that we've been to these places and we've seen these things and we've done, I'm going to make myself cry. And we've done these experiences, it's totally worth it. And I think, one of the other things we could talk about in an assessment is whether cruise versus a land adventure where you're doing it all by yourself, what's better to see Europe and to see these places. I think for the first time seeing these places, a cruise is great.
Right.
Because you're seeing a bunch of different places in quick succession where you couldn't, you could never do what we did in 7 nights by yourself.
It would have taken you
off a boat.
I mean, this would have been with travel and overnights and all that stuff. I mean, this would have been a half a month to a month to see all these places.
Exactly.
And we did it in a week. And
there's something to be said for that, to like be able to see all of these different places, you know, so quickly.
Right. And like Lauren, to Lauren's point, once you do this, you can then decide, hey, I'd love to like embed myself in this one location or these 1 or 2 locations for a lot longer time. And then you can do what the cruise industry calls a land-based vacation in that area.
You can go back.
Right. We're doing it in reverse with Iceland because we spent 2 weeks in Iceland, and I'd love to go back, obviously to just do another Iceland thing, but I'd also love to do a cruise around Iceland, like hit those ports. That'd be fun too, to experience it in a different way.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think overall we loved it. We would do it again, and we're so excited that we get to keep cruising and going on adventures together. Yay, travel.
It's so much fun.
It is so much fun. Let us know in the comments down below if you've ever done a European cruise, whether it was like Western Mediterranean, Eastern Mediterranean, North Atlantic, whatever.
What was your favorite destination?
Yeah, let us know. Or if you've done like this exact one, or if you've been on Symphony of the Seas, we just love to hear from you guys. It both makes us so excited when we see, oh my God, somebody commented.
Right. And
we get so excited.
when we get to share this, we share this stuff with everybody. Like we don't make any money on any of this, and like we're not sponsored and all that stuff. We share it because we love to talk with other travelers, and we want everyone to see our experiences, and we want everyone to share the stuff with us that they're excited about too when we travel. And it's totally worth it when someone says like, hey, this worked for me, or this didn't work for me. This is what I like to do. It's great.
It is fun. So anyway, thanks for watching and supporting our channel. Make sure you like and subscribe. Like we were kind of hinting at in this video, our next adventure that you will see on this channel is Navigator of the Seas. We're going on only a 3-night cruise. This is our first 3-night cruise. We're doing an interior cabin. It's a new ship, a new port. We're really excited about it. So make sure you stay tuned for that. And we'll catch you guys on the next adventure. Bye.